And as it turns out, it was your brother who did it. In the middle of trying to take money from David Taylor, the gun was used on him, plain and simple. When asked if that was correct, Max B says, yes, he shot and he killed him. Asked again, Max B repeats, yes. And just like that, a dark secret that's been buried for nearly 10 years comes crashing out into the open.
Because the rat gonna take the state gonna make them take the plea and say, if you get a plea, but you gotta tell on your co-defendants. Y'all don't have that. There's none of that on the stand. No big avail on no stand. No tape, complete police station statements. None of that. All right? So let's get that right.
Max B wasn't just staying quiet. He was cooperating. And now the paperwork makes that impossible to deny. Before today, there was room for debate, but after these core transcripts surfaced, the story looks locked in. What really makes this wild is that Pistol P and other New York OGs, people who always talk that anti-informant talk, have known this for a while. Not only did they keep Max B around, they used their platforms to defend him and smooth things over. Honestly, that part doesn't shock me at all. Too many old heads preach one thing and move another way. But it still hit different watching Pistol P and his co-hosts go out of their way to vouch for Max B.
We love you know what I'm saying? And we appreciate that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's very important for the viewers, you know what I'm saying? For those out there that don't know Max B and they hear, you know how sound travels, you feel me, Tom?
Even claiming he only took a plea and admitted his role, trying to frame it like that meant he wasn't telling at all. These old heads stay politicking, and when I've seen Pistol Pete acting scared just to even mention informant claims while asking a question, I knew something was off. That ain't the Pistol Pete I thought I knew. Normally, Wack would be the only old head I'd trust to call this stuff out, but right now, Wack 100 is on pause. He's building his network called Nothing But Content.
So and I want to add to that, right? Because so what you have when an individual takes a plea is called plea allocution. And a plea allocution, what happens is the court will ask you questions to make sure that you're clear and that you're certain that you would like to take the plea that's being offered to you by the government and the judge, right? So the court, they'll state facts of the case, and you either say yes or no. By accepting the plea, you're saying that I'm guilty and I accept responsibility for the part that I played.
Lining up shows like Fresh Outta Love with Blueface, plus another with 682 Unk, so yeah, he's busy. That means I gotta say it myself, because what they're pushing is flat out false. What Max B did goes way beyond owning his role. What the paperwork describes fits the textbook definition of cooperation. They felt safe repeating these stories on podcasts because they believed nobody would ever dig up the trail. Nobody would ever find the files, but the transcripts exist, 27 pages deep, laying out what happened back in January of 2007. At that time, Max B, his brother Pooh Sims, and a woman named Gina Conway were all locked up, facing serious conspiracy charges.
How did they actually find you?
Well, I was going to Sin City actually because I wanted to meet Max there because I needed some money, and he knew I was coming there, and it was said that he helped the police catch me. That's what one of the detectives said, and on the stand.
Oh. So Max knew that you were coming to Sin City, and a detective actually said that Max contacted the police and told them where you're going to be in order for you to be arrested?
Yes.
Gina later took a plea before the 2009 trial and agreed to testify against Max B and his brother. And here's the kicker. Gina only agreed after learning that Max B had already pointed her out back in 2006 while she was on the run from police. That context changes everything. No spin can dodge documents this detailed, this clear, and this heavily supported by records alone today. Her story about Max B telling on her before he was even arrested has been out there for years, but the public still chose Max B's side. One user even joked, a cop told her Max B told on her, laughing it off like an easy setup. In the book, the detective is doing the same thing, laughing and brushing it aside. A lot of people think that if information comes from a cop or detective, it's not credible at all. That's why Max B allegedly telling on her alone isn't even the focus of this story. This video is documenting Max B speaking on his own brother, Pooh Sims, and that's where things shift. The evidence here isn't rumor talk, it's clear proof in Max B's own words. No spin, just him explaining the situation. At the time, Gina and Max B were involved, but he was also managing her lifestyle, which had her around different guys regularly. One day, she linked up with a man named Alan Plowden, a guy with money. He took her shopping, had $30,000 in cash, and tried to impress her. They went to a hotel where Gina secured the room key, left Alan there, and then went back to Max B.
And, he was basically looking for the money. And then he told the guy to call his friend up that was in the room downstairs, and his friend came upstairs. And then basically when he came upstairs, Kelvin shot him in the head. He shot him right here. And it's ear, I think.
That move set everything in motion and opened the door to what came next. Right after that, Gina told Max B about the setup. This guy had just taken her shopping, had $30,000 sitting in his hotel room, and she had the room keys. Max B, moving reckless, immediately told his brother Pooh Sims what was going on and sent him back to the hotel with Gina to take the money. The plan sounded simple. Quick move, in and out, no drama. Pooh Sims showed up strapped, ready to make it happen. But what was supposed to be smooth turned messy fast. The situation exploded into a full-blown murder conspiracy when one of Alan's friends unexpectedly walked into the room during the robbery. That's when everything fell apart. The wild part is how sloppy this whole crew moved. Nothing calculated, nothing smart. They didn't even leave with the target money. They panicked and bounced before finding the $30,000. When police arrived, the cash was still right there at the scene. Because of how badly this was handled, Max B and Pooh Sims were both convicted. Max B caught a 75-year sentence for his role in the conspiracy, while Pooh Sims was hit with life. Gina was sentenced to 15 years and didn't get a reduction even after cooperating and testifying. Let that sink in. She worked with authorities, did everything expected, and still sat for 15 years.
Okay, well, we don't have much time, so I just want to get caught up with you real quick. First and foremost, July of last year, because originally you were sentenced to 75 years. But then last July, you said you got reduced to 20 years and then to 12 years. So explain.
Well, I'm eligible for my full minimum status in February, so I'll most likely be, by the end of next year, I'll be in halfway house. That's worst case scenario, halfway house, end of the next year. So that's why I said that. But it's going down. I'm here. I'm on my way. I done gave my shit back. I done did for the most part. So right now, I'm just finding it out, get ready. I'm almost there. It's almost over. So,
okay, so
I can only say that for so much, but it's actually true this time. So you'll be good.
Okay, so explain to everyone how you go from 75 to 12.
Well, I went back on post-conviction. My sentence was vacated for 75 years, so I got back on, my first appeal was denied. Then when I went back on post-conviction, I filed ineffective assistance against my lawyer, and before the case came back before the judge made an actual decision or decided to turn the whole case over, I pleaded out. I couldn't go through waiting for another decision or the courts, or another letdown. So I took 20. So that with my time, man, and once I get full minimum, I'll be down to about 12 and a half years.
Meanwhile, 11 years into Max B's 75-year sentence, he was suddenly brought back to court and had his time reduced. That part right there raises serious questions that still don't sit right at all. So his sentence gets cut down to 20 years, only 5 more than someone who supposedly took the stand and cooperated. That math doesn't add up at all.
Everybody that
feel like I'm coming out of nowhere with the stuff that I'm saying, all you got to do is holler at me. I got the paperwork, I got letters, I got everything to support what I'm saying. That Max B cooperated. French Montana, no, and he condoning it. Cameron, no, he condoning it. Jim Jones was mentioned in this whole situation, so I had to send the paperwork to Jim Jones to put him on point. Holla at me.
After going from 75 to 20, Max B even called into VLAD-TV with a creative story explaining how that happened without cooperating. All that dancing around the truth you just heard is pure nonsense. The reality is simple. Max B didn't magically go from 75 to 20 for no reason. He went back into that courtroom and talked. He pointed fingers, told stories, and put his own brother under the bus. He told the court his brother did things that his brother is now publicly saying he never did. That's the part nobody wants to say out loud. Now, Max B's original appeal to overturn the conviction got denied, but he managed to get back into court on a technical issue. His lawyer at the time was Gerald Uddy, who was both his criminal defense lawyer and his entertainment lawyer. The judges ruled that this was a conflict of interest and said Max B was entitled to a new trial because they believed Gerald gave him bad legal advice to protect himself. So Max B comes back with new lawyers and tells the judge straight up, he advised me to turn down a 10-year plea and take it to trial, a move that ended with a 75-year sentence. And that explanation right there changed everything fast. Max B told the court straight up, I would have taken the 10-year deal, but he told me not to. He said his lawyer lied to him and pushed him toward trial because he wanted Max B free to tour and keep making money for him. Taking a 10-year plea would have shut all that down, so the lawyer was protecting his own interest instead of working for his client. The court agreed that argument actually held weight and ruled Max B deserved a new trial. But here's where it gets ugly. Prosecutors came back with an offer instead of going straight to trial. Max B was given two choices. Option 1, take the new trial, stand on innocence, and fight it all the way. Option 2, take a deal, give statements on every co-defendant, make it nearly impossible for them to ever come home, and in return, get a 20-year sentence with a path out after time served. That was the fork in the road. Max B didn't choose the long fight. He chose the easy exit. He took the plea deal, went back into court, and gave information on his co-defendants. His own brother, Pooh Sims, is still standing on innocence to this day and is actively filing another appeal. He's publicly saying he didn't do any of this. And yet Max B took that deal and labeled his own brother a murderer in court. There's no spinning this one. The paperwork is right there in black and white, and it tells a story nobody can dance around anymore. Max B is a rat, and this time it's not talk, it's black and white paperwork. Let's really get into it. When Max B went back to court for his PCR, he agreed to plead guilty to one count of aggravated manslaughter instead of reopening the whole case and risking another full trial. That was the move. In exchange, the state agreed to wipe out the old jury verdict and give the judge room to resentence him clean. That legal setup gave the judge grounds to vacate Max B's original 75-year sentence and bring it down to 20. But here's what people keep skipping. Max B still had to sit in court and admit to key details. The judge warned him ahead of time that questions about the offense were coming. Then it started. The judge took him back to September 21st, 2006 and asked straight up if he had conversations with two people listed in the indictment. Gina Marie Conway and Calvin Lehman. Max B answered, yes. And right there, he's already talking. That's just the opening chapter. It gets worse from there. He keeps giving statements, even though Pooh Sims, also known as Calvin Lehman, has told the court in his own appeal that he had nothing to do with this at all. He says he wasn't involved, wasn't present, and didn't even know what was going on. But Max B keeps going. He continues to pull his own brother deeper into the conspiracy with his own words in court. No rumors, no spins. This is all coming directly from the record, and it only keeps stacking up from here. The court zeroed in on one key detail. There was an agreement that Calvin would go into New Jersey because Max B was in New York and couldn't go with Gina. Was that correct? Max B answered, yes. The court followed up. Calvin was supposed to cross into New Jersey and, along with Gina Conway, attempt to take money from a couple of individuals, correct? Again, Max B said yes. Then the judge made it plain. The individuals in question were the victims, David Taylor and Alan Plowden. Is that right? Max B confirmed it. He told the court they targeted those two because they were known to carry large amounts of cash. Not random, not accidental. He admitted they were picked specifically for theft by himself, Calvin, and Gina Conway. And this is where things get serious. The court asked Max B if during the planning he believed one or both of these men might be armed. Max B responded yes. Then came the real pressure point. Was there a conversation between you and your brother about him bringing a gun just in case the intended victims had one too? Did that conversation happen? Max B answered yes. That's the moment everything locks in. While Calvin is out here saying, I wasn't there, I don't know what's going on, Max B is sitting in court, laying out the plan step by step. No rumors, no podcast talk. This is straight testimony, and it hits hard when you read it line by line. The court kept pushing and made it crystal clear. They asked, was it your understanding that Calvin was going to have a handgun with him when he went to New Jersey with Gina Conway to take these men's money? Max B answered, yes. Then they pressed him harder. You also understood that even though there was no plan to shoot anyone, if things popped off between armed people, your brother would use that gun if he had to. Is that correct? Max B said, yes. And this is where it turns painful to hear. That's your brother, man. Blood. But the court didn't stop. They asked if Max B understood that if his brother did use that gun on one or both of those men, they would probably be killed. Max B answered, yes. No hesitation. Then the hammer dropped, and as it turned out, your brother did use the gun while trying to steal money from David Taylor. Is that correct? Max B said, yes. They asked again. He shot and killed him. Is that correct? Max B answered, yes. Over and over. The same question, the same answer. The judge repeated it one more time just to lock it in. You understood the risk. You understood the outcome. And it happened exactly that way. Is that right? Max B said, yes. That's not confusion. That's confirmation. This right here is why this matters. This isn't gossip, emotion, or internet talk. This is Max B himself walking the court through it step by step, knowing exactly what could happen and still going along with it. That's the part that makes this impossible to ignore anymore. I'm not anti-informant talk. Keep it honest. What I can't stand is someone playing that role, then shaming others and acting like they're clean. Nah, that's fake. I don't rock with hypocrisy. I don't rock with hypocrites, period. These so-called anti-informant New York old heads move like they're solid, then turn around and co-sign the same behavior. That contradiction is loud. The black and white paperwork is ready, and I'll send it to anyone who wants it. I already know some people will dodge this because they don't want to mess up relationships, but that silence says a lot. Let me know in the comments how you see it. If this breakdown helped, subscribe to Dripzine right now. Like the video, share it, and drop a comment to keep the conversation moving. Help a small content creator grow by clicking the Hype This Video button. It's free. Thank you for rocking with Dripzine.